Oh yeah, we back with another episode on The Twisted T2, baby. And we out here bringing you these Reddits. Now, in case you cheating and reading the screen, well, we're gonna dive into family issues today, okay? And it's a big thing with families when one of the parents passes away and or divorces, and they go on to their next relationship, but there's kids involved. All right. So we're gonna learn and or read about one person's incident in their life and how they feel about this. So, without further ado, let's dive in. So, 18-year-old female living with her dad and their stepmom. The stepmom is a 43-year-old female. Says, my mom passed away when I was 10 years old, and it's still a sensitive subject, as it should be. That was about, 8 years ago? My stepmom came into the picture a couple years later. And while we're civil, we're definitely not close. She's always had this weird vibe, like she's trying to compete with my mom, even though she's not here. She gets snippy when I talk about her, or I wear anything that belonged to her. Like my mom's old necklace. I wear that every day. Anyways, a few nights ago, we went out to dinner with my dad, my stepmom, and her parents. Her mom asked me about the necklace, and I said it was my mom's. She gave it to me before she passed. I wear it every day. My stepmom immediately cut right in and said, well, technically, I'm your mom now. I've done more mothering in the last 8 years than she did in 10. I swear, the whole table went silent. Well, you ain't put your titty in her mouth. I swear, that whole table went silent. I just laughed and said, if you think being a mom is about trying to erase the actual one, then you've been amazing. She looked like she's been smacked. Her mom gasped. My dad told me to apologize, but I refused. You better apologize right now. That's my coochie you talking to like that. I'll be damned. I'm not doing it, Daddy. I said I was tired of her acting like my mom never existed, and I wasn't going to keep playing along anymore. Now my stepmom barely speaking to me. My dad says I need to be the bigger person because, well, she's just trying to connect. And to me, that didn't feel like a connection. It felt more like an erosion. Am I the A for calling her out in front of everybody? Well, this story has been hit. It's about a day old, and when I caught it, it had already had 28,000 likes. All right, almost 4,000 comments on here. So, interesting. But asking me for this person if they are the asshole, I'm going to tell you no. I personally don't think that you are. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because at 43 years old, if you are still petty pantsing the kids, right? Or making sly comments as what was made, like, yeah, I've done more for you than she did in those 10 years. Well, let's be honest. The time frames were completely different, right? Your first 8 years of life, you need different things than you're going to need in the next 8 to 10 years after that. Your stepmother sounds like she is in competition with your mom who's passed away. And that's unfortunate. And she probably does feel like there's days that she has to live up to your mother, Your father dived into that. And you said that she came around a couple years after your mother passed. So I don't know. It doesn't, we don't know, and it doesn't say if they were together when they passed, right? Like your mom and your father were together, or they had already been broken up. But with that, there's no way that you can build a bond with someone if you're in constant competition, okay? So for your stepmom, I believe that if she truly wants to build that bond with you, she's going to have to let those feelings go of how she feels towards your mother, even though it's something inside your stepmom's head, right? Your father might be like, yeah, let's just say your mom's name's Nancy. She'd be like, yeah, Nancy did it like this. And now your stepmom's like, oh, the bitch is dead, and I'm still hearing it, right? So that could be why she's trying to weasel her way in. I will also say that, listen, Okay, obviously you have the choice as an 18-year-old whether or not you want to let people in or not let people in. Obviously you want to keep her at an arm's length because you don't feel like some of the stuff is genuine, right? Or she wouldn't be throwing it in your face or saying it or talking about it in this manner. Now, whether or not your father felt some way afterwards, you know what? That's on him. Because he probably should have addressed this before. He should have probably sat with the both of you and tried to figure out, where it stands, because there's no way your stepmother's going to be able to replace your mother and or the feelings you have towards your mother. It's not possible, right? You might feel differently towards your stepmother later in life because of some of the things you might see on how she may have helped you, but you won't feel that same way with her as you feel like with your mother. It's just not going to happen, especially if this is what you've been dealing with over the last few years. With that being said, let's dive into the comments. Ooh, not the A. Let's see why. Who the thinks that belittling a dead parent is connecting? This is disgusting. And your dad is missing his spine, just like your stepmom is missing her heart. Well, at least we know they both missing shit. Exactly. That's the difference between trying to build a bond and trying to rewrite history. And yeah, I wish my dad had my back a little more in the moment. Yo, your dad ain't got your back in the moment because he was looking at somebody else's back trying to get to their front. Not the A. I don't even have anything else to say. How dare you say that to you? How dare she say that to you? I appreciate it. I didn't expect her to go there either. Still trying to process it, honestly. There's no way. That's no way to connect at all. Saying she's done more parenting than your own mother who passed, that is so insensitive. And she got served. I'm going to go out here and say that she doesn't have kids of her own. And that's why she feels as though she's trying to make you hers. Well, and if she does have kids of her own, then she'd feel a different way about this. Not the A. She is the one who owes you an apology. And so does your dad, dick. He should be sticking up for you. And, well, your reply was perfect. Sometimes evil step-parents forget that children grow up to be adults who don't have to take their stuff anymore. She just got a lesson in that. Good for you. I appreciate this. I think she expected me just to take it, but I'm not 15 anymore. If she wanted respect, she should have given it. And my dad really dropped the ball. Yeah, we wasn't talking about your dad. Dropped the ball by not stepping in. That might be the hardest part. Look, don't let it be. Okay? Because when you get to the age where you got kids and some shit happens, you'll start to understand that, the private parts, the dick and the pussy and these, they kind of take weight versus the feelings of the kids and everything else, unfortunately. I'm just saying. Every once in a while, you'll get a parent who really puts their kid forth. For the most part, especially when they're in these situations, as far as your dad being single and going, getting with the other lady, she's put forth. And it's messed up. Not the A. Why does a teenager need to be the bigger person? That's a good point. Your stepmom should be the one taking the extra effort. And she should never speak badly about your mom. She has no right to declare herself your mom. She wanted to call. If she wants you to call her mom, she should earn it. But she's clearly missed the chance over those last 8 years. Yeah, it's because she was in a competition the whole time. Yeah, no, she's crossed the line, and, well, she shouldn't have. And you did nothing wrong there. Appreciate you. I've let a lot of little comments slide over the years, but this one just hit a nerve. Well, if being a mom means trying to outshine a ghost, I think your stepmom just got haunted. Look, even her parents know she overstepped. Yeah, they did. She was jealous of a dead woman. What an idiot. That's my point. I had a similar situation. You see, my mom passed when I was 10. A few months later, my dad had a friend, and they moved in and tried to mother me. I looked at straight in her eyes and said, I had a mother. It didn't work. She's out. Guess what? A couple weeks later, that lady was gone too. A lot of other women throughout the years have tried, even in my adulthood and middle age. That's good for you to stand up for yourself. You're not the A. Your father's the A for allowing her to continue with her nasty vibes and little attacks. If anyone needs to apologize to you, it is her. This is coming from a mom. Well, thank you. Okay? Not the A. She started. You finished. Fair play. Look, what they tell you? What's that? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You say stupid comments, you get stupid comments back. I'm just saying. It's the way it works. Be the bigger person and stop posting fake shit. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. We're getting into the fake post. Fake AI post. Grow up, please. Can't believe it took me that much scrolling through the comments to get to this one. But she said, if it didn't feel like a connection, such junk. Reddit must pay big dollars for AI research. Disappointing this post isn't at the top where people's bullshit filters for generic trite. Question mark. All right, well, look, if it is a fake story, this is, I ain't gonna lie, it's all right, okay? So, imaginary stock. Well, maybe it is fake, maybe it isn't. But for you, those watching, I want you to go ahead, put your thoughts in the comments. Give this girl advice. You think she was the A? I'll be honest, I don't think she was the A. Sometimes you need to stand up for yourself and put that foot down, okay? But if you thought she was the A, leave it in the comments. You think this is a fake post? Leave it in the comments. In the meantime, do us all a favor. Keep your head on a swivel. Oh, yeah, because guess what? Not everybody's out there with your best interest. So feel free to enjoy the day. Peace out.